Okay. I'll start with an intro and then I'll pass it along. How's that sound?
Cool.
Hey, I'm
Yes.
Kevin. I think I know all of you already, but yeah, for the purposes of this call, I'm one of the proprietors slash DAO members of RegenHub.xyz and excited to hear what we can learn from Leen and from Commons Hub. Was inspired the amount by the vibes and the lighting that you had at the Regen Village, and also the plants. We have no plants in our Regen
Ah,
Hub right now, so I want the plant
Yes.
alpha. And then
There's,
I'll pass it
cool.
along to Michael.
all right, I just want to go on record to say that it's not true. We have 3 plants,
Okay, fake news.
3 live plants,
One's a cactus.
and 2 not live plants. Oh yeah, we have 4 plants in that case. So yeah, I am also a contributor here at the Regen Hub and am just trying to figure out how to get more people in here so we can have even.
Cool.
Similarly, I've been contributing a lot here at the Regen Hub. I was in Brussels. I saw the comments of it. I thought you guys did a great job. We need more waffles.
Yes. Nice. Cool. Are you part of any project, Marcus or Michael? Or
Yeah. So I'm founding my own project right now. It's a decentralized internet service on Ethereum called Ubitel. Yeah.
nice, nice. What about you, Michael?
I am not associated with any projects right now, just working on improving my skills as a developer so that hopefully I can find some work.
Cool. Nice, nice, nice. So yeah, I'll introduce myself as well a little bit. So yeah, I'm Leen. I'm based in Brussels, and yeah, for a long time we're like, we need a building for everything that we want to do. It would be so cool to have a space that we can call home. And yeah, we after 5 years of dreaming big about it, it finally we have a building, and it's located quite nicely next to the central station of Brussels. It's really in the heart, in the historical center. Um, we're starting off with 2 floors, the first and the second floor. First floor co-working, second floor event space, conferences, seminars, workshops, trainings, that sort of stuff. But the idea or the big dream is to grow into collective ownership of the building. And the ground floor is going to be a restaurant. So we have a license to run yeah, like a restaurant or a cafe, or that's a little bit long term. There's also a third floor and a fourth floor. So, but we're focusing on the first and the second floor, and if that business starts running a little bit smoothly, then we'll grow slowly into the rest of the building and see if we can buy it as a cooperative. And that's a bit the plan. So yeah, I'm now full-time, a little bit still on Regents Unite project, but then for the rest I'm full-time here. Yeah, creating a house here and a place for active citizens in Brussels.
Love it.
Yes.
Just need to hear your
So,
aspirations for it.
uh,
Where should we start?
maybe we could like the why of the story. Maybe like we can start with the why of the Commons Hub and then the why of the Regen Hub, and then see how we are planning to business develop it, like what are our plans there,
Yeah.
external communication, internal. Yeah, there's so much we can talk about, right? How are we getting organized? Tokens, yes or no? How are you feeling about that? So there's a lot to cross-pollinate, I believe.
Okay,
Um,
sounds good. Who should go first?
I will ask the question. So why did you guys think of starting the Regen Hub in Boulder, Colorado?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a couple different motivations that have worked for me. I just wanted to have an office out of the house, and I think we signed the lease the week that my kids were on summer break, and they were driving me crazy working from home. And it was just marginally more money to get a space that we could share, um, than like getting my own office. And so, um, I think that the idea of working with friends or working with people who are on the level seems like a good idea and was an aspiration. And I guess I say like Regen Hub, I'm kind of treating it as like a blank canvas that different people can paint their different aspirations on now that we have this like social shelling point. But like the highest use of, I think, what we could do is we only have the lease for 12 months, and I would love uh, to have enough rent paying desk people that we could continue on for another 12 months if I'm no
Mm.
longer financially backing it. I think that's one aspiration we have. And then another aspiration that we have is building cross pollination of crypto regenism with regen ag and with art and other pro social parts of the Boulder community that we've not yet reached. So those are my aspirations. Curious about Michael and Marcus, though.
Yeah, I would say similarly, like the cross pollination between like the community that we are all part of, and there are a lot of people and groups in Boulder who are doing things that are, let's say, regen in nature, and yeah, just connecting with them and somehow empowering them to make a greater impact, and also just growing a community of people who are interested in these things. And yeah, definitely long-term sustainability of that, I think, would be something great. So,
Yeah, for sure. Just to reiterate on that, I think one of the things that I observed is there's lots of disparate, different groups around the area that are Web3, blockchain, regen aligned, but it's always hard to get them sort of to come together or to have a space for that. That's kind of what I wanted to hear. Is trying to extend and expand the space into the local community, however we sort of can along those axes of and Web3.
Mhm. Cool. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities with the Commons Hub as well. Like this social shelling point, given that you mentioned, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
very important one. Um, I think for it really comes also from a space of missing that in Brussels, right? It's I don't know, I moved to Brussels 5 years ago, and I feel like I'm rooting in this place, and it's like a way of being an active citizen and contributing to the city by creating a space like this. Um, so yeah, I have a background in democratic activism, which is not at all technology or Web3 related. I accidentally ended up in the Web3 space. But active citizenship is something I've been working on for quite a long time. And of course, that merges quite well. We are a collective of people setting up this space. And then the Web3 walks in via this way. But the Commons Hub, we called it Commons Hub, not Regen Hub, although we thought about calling it Regen Hub. But we picked Commoning and Commons Hub in the end because the word common is a well-known way to call out about sharing economies or sharing and reinventing economies is well known in the activist space and in the Web3 space. Commons as a term, it's a very familiar term here in Europe when we're talking about how to do things differently. It's quite deep in the European history. To share resources and manage resources by commoning. So we thought, let's do it Commons Hub, not Regen Hub, so that we for sure bridge already with the name different sectors that are all working on regenerative solutions or asking the question, what else is possible? Like the current system is not working. What else is possible? And that's why we picked the Commons Hub as a name for the city of Brussels. Yeah. So
Can I ask, I hope it's okay to ask about this, but I think you mentioned in Brussels when we were there that you got some sort of grant from the city to help support this space. I didn't even think of applying for something like that in Boulder, and maybe Boulder and Brussels are very different, but Yeah, is that something that you would recommend that we should look into? And also,
Mm,
like, how hard was it to do?
yeah, the subsidies we got was actually to organize the region village.
Oh,
So
I see. Okay.
yeah. So but we will enter. I have to look into that now. I will enter into looking into ways to yeah, to ask the city for support for this building and this initiative. Um,
Mm,
but I think we spent about 8 months looking for a location that we liked enough because we want to stay here. This is really a
mm,
project that has a long-term vision from the start. And so we contacted the city and we built good relationships with them, especially like the alderman of citizen participation. We have that in Brussels. He's only working on how to engage citizens into decision-making processes in the city and active citizenship, citizen projects, all that stuff. And we contacted him and he actually helped us in the search for a new building. In the end, we didn't choose for the building that he was suggesting to us. We ended up in the Commons Hub, which is a private building. But
mhm,
he did say like, hey, if you guys want support for that event that you're organizing, you can. And he really helped us out, and he really was guiding us the way towards these subsidies. And they sponsored with 3,000 euros the Regen Village event. Um, that said, Xavier is working. Yeah, the two of us are the main drivers behind this project. It's working on a project called Brussels Pay, where they want to, with the Citizen Wallet, create a paying system, a bit like MasterCard and Visa, or Apple Pay and Google Pay. But that would be completely Brussels based, and instead of paying like the mini fee that you pay to US based companies, we would actually keep that money in Brussels and start a
mm,
participative budget to support other citizens' initiatives and citizen projects. And the city
mm,
of Brussels liked that so much that they gave them like a really big um, grant to develop that. And of course, the home base of that project will also be the Commons Hub. So it will be a center, a dynamic center for innovation, also for technological and economy innovation and transition. So yeah, we'll for sure look into that, and I would contact and reach out to the city council and see how you can support each other. How can the region hub mean something for the citizens of Boulder? And can we do meetings here, people assemblies? Can we have gatherings? How can we be accessible for students, or et cetera, so that you create an added value for the city? Um, Something like that.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have not even looked if something like that is available here, and I'm not very engaged locally, so I just don't know. But I mean, I've only been in Boulder for four months. Maybe that's if I'm going
Mm,
to be here for another 20 years, something look into.
Yeah. We have connections though through like Harder and stuff. I feel like
Yeah,
Matt work on some local grants or something like this.
yeah, that'd be great.
yeah. When it flows back to the city in some way, like organizing something, whether it's I saw on the pictures you have a beautiful roof terrace. Wow, that's an invitation for the city and for the citizens to come have a drink on Sunday afternoon, right? It can be super small. Um, and to get to know and to yeah, to become that social shelling point. Um, yeah. So, how are you guys looking into making this work financially? Do you have like plans for that, or are you doing?
Yeah, right now we're riding the coattails of Gitcoin's 2021 raise from Paradigm. So thanks Paradigm, thanks Uncle Joe Lubin for financing the Regen Hub, whether you know you did it or not. And the goal, I think that the goal is to rent out desks, and it's $3,500 a month plus like I don't know, like $100 a month in internet and insurance, and so it'd be 3,600 a month to keep it going after the 12 months that I've already committed to. So
Mm,
desk space is the initial thought. And then we can also hope and pray that the crypto markets go up, and that's the other strategy. But yeah, like I guess like maybe one difference between how you're approaching Commons Hub and how we're approaching this is like this is no one's full-time job. I'd say that we're each pinching off like between 1 and 3 hours a week to like pick up furniture, govern the space, clean it, and stuff like that. And like we're still kind of trying to get off the ground of just like basic stuff like and we just got past like having furniture and having internet and all and like that stuff over the last couple months. But yeah, I don't know, Michael and Marcus, anything to add?
Yeah, I would just say that up until this point, it's been a lot like logistical and organizing and just kind of getting the space set up. And on Friday, we had our opening party, and I don't know, I'd say there's like 15 to 20 people that showed up, and it just kind of felt like that was kind of like a turning point for like people coming in and seeing the space, and like it was like the most set up that it has been, and it kind of actually looks like a legitimate co-working space. And I think that people coming in and seeing that is kind of inspiring some of them. Like there are a few people who are coming in this week who haven't been in previously. And like, I think right now, like my sense is that like not really worrying about like how much is this person going to pay, or like what is it going to look like if they want to do day pass or like anything like that. It's just like get people in here so that it's like a more alive space, and so that like just growing that network of people that are coming in here and like making it an attractive space that people want to come to. I think that that is pretty important. And like, especially, I think this might be possibly something different, is like, we're trying to be pretty selective about who we bring in here. Have like people who are working on things that are aligned with like the region vision and mission, and who are contributing positively, as opposed to like, hey, this is a business, like how do we get our business up on Google Maps and like put our prices up and things like that. And so I think, yeah, just generally right now, like that's the main goal. And like I've just been reaching out to like all the people who came here, like when are you coming in this week, and like these are the events that we're having. So yeah, I would say in my mind that right now is the biggest thing, is like usually Marcus and I are in here, but it's like, how do we get other people in here, and like, how do we get them to like want to be in here? I think.
Yeah.
Creating the vibe so people want to be in here, so people see value in being here, see community being here.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, organizing events indeed is probably one of the most the best ways to become visible and to attract a lot of people. And then for sure. That's also
like,
yeah.
Sorry, like what is your event schedule like for this month, for example?
For this month in August, nothing. It's so quiet. Everybody's on a holiday. But I see it pick up in September. We will have our quote official open days on the 27th and the 28th of September. And I'm nudging people like, hey, all the people that are landing here now, there's a couple of communities and then a lot of individuals. And I'm nudging them like, hey, propose a workshop to do on those open days. The reason why we picked those 2 days is because we have a shifting economies week in Brussels in the week before. So we hope to sort of go on that wave a little bit and co-promote the shifting economies and the open days at the Commons Hub, where the topics will also be about shifting economies or also shifting everything. The whole what else is possible question. So open days. We starting to have monthly meetups. We have a local crypto community called DAO Brussels that is doing their monthly meetups now. They moved into the Commons Hub. And then we also try to attract some communities and some practitioners in the more healing scene, facilitation, and then regeneration of the mind and the body, some trauma healing and that stuff. Because we have nice meeting spaces upstairs, and some of them we could make quite cozy. So some meditation, some yoga maybe, and then some more intimate circles we want to invite into the space as well, so that we really bridge technology and non-technology type regeneration.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's about inviting those communities in, and see yeah. So last week I worked on the on the slide deck to sort of promote the second floor where the events will be, so that institutions and organizations can contact us, see a price list, and see basically the overview of everything that's possible on the second floor. And then we've been working hard on the membership models for the first floor, the co-working as well. And we will operate as a cooperative. So the idea is that members do not only pay a little bit of money every month to come co-work, but they will also have to do what we call a shift. So they will have to spend, depending on the plan they choose, they will have to contribute a little bit of time to the space to manage it together as a crew. And under the idea, we are all crew. This is a collective effort. We run this space together. It's shared responsibility and shared ownership. So yeah, the people can sign up for 100 euros a month to come co-work full time, but then they also have to put in 3 hours a week into the space. Or they can sign up for 250 euros a month, but then they do a shift per month. But basically, every member has to do a shift, so that we start, or that we it's about caring for the space together and doing the work that needs to be done to keep the house clean and managed. So this is, and coordinating that is indeed, it's a bit of work to set that all up and to manage that a little bit. And that's indeed why I'm asked the community to be paid to take up this role as a general steward or facilitator of the space. So yeah, we did an initial fundraising in the local community in Brussels. So we asked people to put an initial fund, and they will be able to choose to invest that in the legal cooperative we're going to start. Our deadline is the end of December, or they can start using that budget as a prepayment to use the space. So people could put in between 2 and 10,000 euros, and now they can either start using that to rent the space or to co-work, or they say no, leave it there. It will become my share in the cooperative. So that's a bit how we are looking at it right now. So this is the initial funding that we have to get a little bit of a runway with the start of the project. A little bit of financial backing.
How much total runway do you have? How long would that last you?
Well, I think, I have to look at the numbers, but I think we got in total 60 or 70K, 70,000 euros in funding through those individuals that said like, hey, this is a cool project, I want to support. That's where we are right now. We are also just received some funding from a collective that is closing. So we are okay. Also, we negotiated with the owner that the rent of the space would be very cheap until December, because he also invested in the project, and he believes very much in the project. So he says like, I'll give you guys some time to grow, and then our rent will go up a little bit. Our rent will go up from December, but we have a little bit of time to get on our feet and to attract some co-workers to pay the bills and to get our business going. But yeah, we have a little bit of time.
Cool. Are you also being selective about like the people that you bring in, or is it like you just like anyone, bring them in the door?
Anybody is welcome, but we have a code of conduct and a set of values and a set of questions that we want to live with the space. The fact that people have to do a shift is already a bit of a way of selecting people that believe in projects like this. It is not a strictly professional co-working run space. It's really like you know, it's a community space where, oh, this is dirty, and then you clean it, right? So there is it's a community. It's not a strictly professional co-working, and I think that selects people towards the project. So are we really selecting? No, but I think there's a self-selection going there when they sign up. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. We put a governance system in place as well. We're trying to put a sociocracy in place, so that we have like several circles, a circle taking care of logistics, a circle taking care of the IT and the tech. We will have a credit system for the shifts and a token system for the shifts, and etc. etc. So these are being taken care of by different groups in the community. So yeah.
What did you I guess I'm curious about did you say that you have a code of conduct, you've got sociography for governance, and then there was also, did you guys say that you have like a list of values or something?
Well, we do, yeah. A set of questions that we live, and those will, I need to write them a little bit better. Right now, they are on, yeah, if you go to the website and you go to documentation, I try to document it a little bit there. And I've also just written the first newsletter, and they are there as well. So
Okay.
at the moment, this is so what do we do with this space? And that's indeed going from private ownership to shared ownership, from monoculture to permaculture. So I have a couple of questions there that we want to practice every day, from transactions to relationships. How does that work? So this is what we work now, or that what we hold now as a container, to guide the community and to attract people that would want to live these questions with us. Yeah. Do you have something alike, like a one pager or a code of conduct or?
Yeah, we don't have anything like that really. I I'm curious to like kind of think about how we would like create something like that or ratify it, given that like if we do it centralized, we can get it across the board, but then it doesn't have buy-in. But if we make it too decentralized, then maybe it'll never go anywhere just through
Mm,
disorganization. And so maybe it's up to us as the people who are seeding the space to kind of come up with an MVP that we can ratify or um, fork and evolve from there.
yeah, that this is, yeah, I wrote the initial pages, and then a lot of people had a look at it, and then we just moved forward with this, and we will feel into the community like, oh, it's time to change it now, or it needs yeah,
Hmm.
in the seed phase, everything has to go a little bit fast, right?
Yeah.
You need to move. Um, we also set in place since June, actually, we are doing weekly heartbeat meetings. So every Monday at 5 o'clock, we meet with the community to talk about things. It can be anything, the access system, the batch system. Yesterday, we talked about sociocracy because a lot of people in the community don't know what that is. Like, how does that work? How does this decision-making process work? We talked about some proposals that had some feedback, and you know, in real life, we do that in real life here in the Commons Hub every Monday at 5. And we have a 1 hour and a half to 2 hour meeting with anybody who wants to join. And the proposals are walking in, so it's good to see. Like, there's a podcast studio being proposed now. Another proposal to move from WhatsApp to Telegram, and then we help the community to sort of go into the advice process, like in DAOs, right? Like, how does this work? Like, how, who has to give advice now, and who can vote now? So we're taking the community on a journey here to grow into that and make it as democratic as possible.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Mike, Marcus, do you guys have any more questions? Yeah, I mean, I think this gives us something to think about. If something comes up, we may hit you up on Telegram. But I think that
Cool.
it's interesting to see the intersections of the two spaces, but also how they're different. And would love to stay in touch and sort of touch base in 6 months and see how things are evolving on both sides.
That would be amazing. And if there's anything we can share everything. And I'm very curious about anything that you
Yeah.
guys writing as well. So yes, cool.
Well, I don't know if you and Javi are planning on coming to East Denver, but I think we may run an event out of the space around then. So if you do come tentatively February 23rd, 2025, we would run a general forum on Ethereum localism in the Regen
Oh,
Hub.
nice,
So
nice,
soon
nice.
TM. And if y'all are out, would love to show you the space.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're gonna make it, but thank you so much for the invitation. That's super
Yeah,
cool.
definitely.
Cool.
All
All
right. Anything
right,
else we should chat
cool.
through?
Any more questions? No? Great. All right. Yeah,
Awesome.
then stay in touch and thank you so much, guys, for your time. And then
Thank you.
Yeah, this was fun.
good luck with everything. Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
All right.
Peace and love.
See you
Bye.
guys. Bye bye.
Bye.